great talker, Unite Empire. 今日は試合があった。そして彼がエンパイアの応援してくれるんだよ。みんな、ブローキンテーブルポッドキャストよろしく。
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. I am your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here as always with our co-host, King Rome. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great, Jeff.
That's excellent to hear. Excellent to hear. Welcome, everybody, to our AEW Rampage Review. This is episode number 115. This was a decent episode of Rampage, you know what I mean? And they kind of made it must-watch by throwing the Elite, you know, with Matt Hardy on here, huh?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think it's important to get these big stars on Rampage. We saw it throughout the night, and it's just important. You know, you want to get viewers on Rampage, and you need to have stacked cards. And I think they definitely succeeded in that tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Welcome everybody.
There's an echo, Jeff.
There's an echo. Yeah, I figured there was going to be. I think I've already cured that. So give me a check real quick there, Rome.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast.
All right, we should be good. Yeah, I pretty much I saw that coming actually, and I just caught it. All right, so I do appreciate you guys in the chat. Let's say hello to everybody. We got the Coog, we got Ed Weber, we got the Coach Nick. What's up, man? How is everybody doing tonight? Did the echo go away? I'm pretty sure it did, but, you know, I'm sure everybody will let us know. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here with our AEW Rampage review. This was Rampage from Dayton, Ohio, you know, filmed after AEW Dynamite this Wednesday. We started off with the Elite versus Matt Hardy, Ethan Page, and Isaiah Cassidy. I thought this was freaking awesome, man. This match, Isaiah Cassidy felt like he was getting focused quite a bit. Did it seem like that to you?
I think it's just the story they're telling. Coach said there's a little bit of an echo still.
A little bit of an echo still. So the echo's coming from me then, so it must be the way that we have the audio going here tonight. Okay. Sounds better? Okay.
Okay. No, I think that's just the story they're telling, which you could kind of see. You kind of see where they're going with it based off how the match ended. But at the same time, I mean, Isaiah is really talented, so he kind of deserves the. Ed Weber says I'm really quiet.
All right, I turned you up.
Okay. But no, that's just the story they're telling. But Cassidy definitely deserves the spot. So.
All right. Maybe we'll have you, you know, leave that collab cam we're doing and have you pop back into the Discord possibly to get rid of the echo. Is it better, Ed? Everything sound better? Because we're trying something new tonight. The camera looks much better, but if we're getting an echo, that's not good.
Yeah. What do you want me to do it, Jeff?
Let's see. Let's see what they say. Let's go for another moment here, and if they still got an echo, we'll have you switch out.
Okay.
But, you know, we tagged in Kenny Omega here early on in the match. I actually didn't expect Kenny to get involved in this match till a little bit later on, but huge pop for Kenny Omega because he was in the ring with Matt Hardy straight away almost. It felt like maybe about a minute or two into the match, we got Matt Hardy and Kenny Omega in there. And I was kind of happy that they did that early on in the match, because I think that's what everybody wanted to see. You know what I mean? And we just got it right away. Just I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, this was the Echo's gone, says Purple. Thank you, Purple. Yeah, I thought this was a really great match. Match started a little slow, but then I feel like a few minutes in it started picking up, and it was just it was a great match. Just absolutely loved it.
Yeah, one of the first things I wrote down is just kind of like common knowledge at this point. I just wrote, the Elite are awesome. It's so nice to see them on Rampage. Hopefully this brought some more eyes over to Rampage. I feel like this is a must-watch now that you have the Elite over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see what the numbers look like on Monday. But I think it'll get a nice little bump. There's a few noteworthy things that happened on the show tonight. I mean, I think it's going to be great for them. I mean, the Elite wrestled, Saraya wrestled, Toni Storm wrestled, Swerve wrestled. Yeah, I think it was a really well thought out show for them to do on a Rampage.
Okay, yeah, I actually thought the same thing. We got a really, really nasty double super kick to Isaiah, man. Like, they kind of did the launch off of Matt Hardy's back, where Isaiah went running. He jumps off of Matt Hardy's back, but the Bucks came out of nowhere and just absolutely destroyed Isaiah out of midair with that super kick there. We got a really nice Canadian destroyer to Nick. I don't know if you noticed, but in the middle of that Canadian destroyer, Isaiah's nuts must have got crushed or something, because he immediately like rolled over and grabbed. It didn't look like it. I don't know if it felt very good there. So they're saying in the background there's a quiet echo when I talk, so it must be kind of looping through. So yeah, let's have you pop out and join back in through the normal means there.
Okay, go ahead and cut off of me, and I'll be back.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and continue. And let's bring this up. All right, so we did get a couple of 2 counts. We got a Twist of Fate 2 count. Isaiah hit a really awesome RKO out of nowhere. This was, somebody jumped off the top ropes there, and Isaiah hit that RKO out of nowhere. I think we'll start calling it a cutter. I'll call it the cutter. The Diamond Cutter is my favorite move of all time. So I'll start calling it a cutter. This was great, but Isaiah did his best, but he took that V trigger from Kenny, took a one-winged angel, and then took a BTE trigger. Man, they were not kidding around for the finish on this match here. Isaiah, he took a beating in this match, man, but it felt like he was getting focused on. You know what I mean? Yep. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I thought this was a fantastic opener for Rampage. Oh, now we can't hear Rome. There we go. All right. All right, thank you. We should be able to hear Rome now. Sorry about that. When we switched, I forgot to switch the audio. So
Producer Jeff is napping.
Yeah, Producer Jeff's having a rough night, man. I was, it's been a long day. We'll put it that way.
Oh, you have no idea. But no, I mean, so my point that I was saying, which no one heard, was that was kind of the point with Matt. Sound issues are the bane of existence. Yeah, it really is. Purple needs to go help Jeffrey, says Coach Nick. My point is that Isaiah took a lot of the beating tonight because the whole point of the story that was being told was that Matt wasn't there for Isaiah when Isaiah needed him most. Even at the end of the match, you can see Isaiah's kind of in the corner looking for Matt. Matt's over on the floor with Ethan Page, and that ends up being their undoing, is that Matt wasn't there to take the tag or help him out.
Yeah, Matt was out there because he had accidentally punched Ethan in the face while he was on the apron. you know, I thought this was a great finish. I really was impressed with Isaiah in this one. Now, his little screams where he yelps super duper loud, I feel like he does that a little bit too much in some spots that don't really warrant it. Like, I'm hoping he starts using that for more like when he gets thrown off of a top rope or something like that. But it's a sound that not many humans can hit, you know?
No, it's his gimmick.
It is, definitely. All right, next up we had Ricky Starks with Lexi Nair backstage. And Ricky Starks essentially, he cuts a pretty decent promo, and he says, you know, listen, if this is what you want to do, Jericho, if this is what I have to do to get out of this web of Jericho that he has been stuck in, then so be it, you know? And I kind of like that they acknowledged that, you know, Ricky was like, dude, I'm stuck in this whole Jericho thing. Get me out of this. Because people have been, you know, giving it a little bit of complaining here about him still stuck against the Jericho Appreciation Society.
I think Ricky Starks took notes from, got a text from the coach over the week. It's like,
yeah,
you're just stuck in this, man. You got to get out of it. No, I thought it was a good promo. And I agree. The story hasn't been bad. I just want to see it go somewhere. So hopefully we see it go.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
All right, next up we had Jeff Jarrett, Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh backstage doing a promo, mostly by Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. They basically just, you know, yelled at the Best Friends and Danhausen, and then Danhausen came on with the Best Friends, and he yelled back at them, and this was pretty funny with Danhausen though. The way that Danhausen, his comedy is fantastic. I really enjoy when Danhausen gets a little bit of the spotlight and gets to actually speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought it was a really it was an enjoyable segment. Everyone's doing a great job here. I mean, Jeff Jarrett and his guys, they've been killing it. The Best Friends and Orange Cassidy always killing it as well. So it's just top tier quality work. It was a nice little quick video package, not anything too crazy, but did its job. You know, I enjoyed it.
Yep. I like how Coach says in chat he felt like Ricky was speaking to him personally in that promo. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, man, it sounds like he's talking right to Coach right now.
They should have started the promo with Ricky on his phone. Be like, oh, sorry, that was the coach.
Yeah.
His phone away.
All right, next up we had Swerve Strickland versus Brian Pillman Jr. Swerve came to the ring with his associates, Trench and Parker Boudreaux. Man, this guy Trench, it really blows my mind to think that this guy used to play Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
And now he is, I mean, just covered from head to toe in tattoos. Like, it's just so weird to see that guy and be like, oh yeah, he used to be in Major League Baseball. And you're like, he what?
Yeah, man. I mean, he's doing it, so.
But I was actually very impressed with Brian Pillman Jr. in this. Usually he's, you know, he's in tag matches, and I don't think I've ever seen him. I think maybe he's faced MJF or something like that in some singles matches, but you know, it's very rare he's had a singles match. And he actually impressed me in this. He held his own against Swerve. He rocked this new character that was like a little bit of a rock star type thing. I felt like he was trying to kind of match his dad's persona from back in the day a little bit, but I was actually impressed with Pillman here. What about you?
I thought he was fine. He definitely isn't on Swerve's level.
No, I mean, just, yeah, compared to his past work, you know?
I guess. I don't know. For me, I think Pillman is. I really like Brian Pillman Jr. But I don't know, sometimes it's kind of hit or miss. Like I really want to like him, but
Yeah.
sometimes it just. Again, it's really hit or miss. Like I think the highlights that I like, the best work he's ever done was the stuff he did with MJF in Cincinnati. I think that was good stuff. You know, I mean, obviously the Blondes were a really cool tag team, and right now he's doing this thing with Brock Anderson, and I think it's a great idea. Him and Brock with Arn as their manager, I think it's great. I just think he needs. I don't know what it is. Like I don't know if it's because he's trying too hard or he's not trying enough. There's something there that doesn't click. And again, I can't really put my finger on it because I don't know. Like, he's got the look. He looks great. It's just he's just got.
He just has to learn how to work the crowd. He had a little bit of it tonight, but
so
needs
like
a little more.
Brian Pillman Jr. is one of those guys who them doing these house shows on weekends. Like, he's a guy that should be on every house show. Like, he should be on the card somewhere. Get him on the card. Give him reps. Let him keep working in front of crowds. Give him like 20 minutes. Because that's the thing. These house shows, you got to assume that they're going to give more time to people that don't get as much time. So I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, I agree. So he actually kicks out of a house call in this. I did not expect Pillman to kick out of this house call. Pillman went down after a little kick to the knee. Swerve freaking. I love that house call. That little jumping side kick is probably one of my favorite finishers. He smashes him with that one, but nope, he kicks out. And we get a little bit of interference from outside. Parker Boudreaux kind of sweeps his feet out from under him, causing Swerve to be able to hit that stomp. And Swerve gets the 1, 2, 3. And they all start to attack Pillman after the bell here. And we get Dustin coming down to the ring for the save. And he's got one of the turnbuckles, the big metal bar that hooks the ropes to the post. So he kind of evens the odds as he comes down and makes the save. I thought this was fine. This did what it needed to do here, and we'll see what happens when we get Dustin versus Sneaky Swerve.
Yeah.
And we'll say, what's up, Andy in chat? Hi, Andy says hi. Coog says, Pillman has the talent, just needs the reps. He'll be okay in time. You know, Coog, it's a perfect time to mention the house shows that AEW just started up. I think those house shows are exactly the type of reps, and Pillman is the exact type of guy that needs those reps. You know what I mean? So.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Next up, we had a promo from Malachi Black. It was a little bit of a video package here. Now, did this sound like somebody else's voice to you, or just like it was like Malachi's voice, but it was a little off, or did I just, was something just off on my end?
No, I thought it sounded like Malachi.
Did it?
I don't think that he was actually there. I think that might have been what it was. I think maybe use some sort of different equipment or something. So maybe it's a little different, because you don't really see him in the video. I mean, you see stuff.
No, yeah, you're right.
Actually see him. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he was just off that week and they needed something and they were like, hey, can you just send us a promo? But I thought it was really good though. I really loved what was said. I think it makes it clear what we've been talking about. It was never about the two of them getting either of them to join. Malachi doesn't want Eddie Kingston in the House of Black. House of Black isn't looking for members. They're just looking to prove that everybody is corruptible. That, all people are bad. And yeah, I love this promo. I thought it was really good. Very well done. The presentation of it was awesome as well, which everything the House of Black does presentation-wise is also awesome. So.
Yeah. Okay, I don't feel so bad now. Coach said he told his wife, is this Malachi or some random guy? Okay, good. It took me a second. I was like, okay, this does sound like Malachi. I was like, but it sounds weird. Must have just been, like you said, on some different equipment,
Yeah, I think it was just the delivery he was going for. It was very seething. Like, usually Malachi is kind of cool, calm, and collected. Yeah. Whereas I felt like here he was just like he was trying to like talk through his teeth. You know what I mean? Like he had his teeth or something. Like I think he was just going for a more sinister delivery, where it's like he feels very strongly about why the House of Black exists is to expose all of humanity. Which, if that's his motivation, I could see him getting more vitriol about it. So that's how I took it, at least. Or it was somebody different. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know.
All right, so next up we had Toni Storm and Saraya versus the Renegades, formerly known as the Renegade Twins. I'm not sure if they're trying to get away from the twins thing, but
So I'm going to say it again, because I did it last time. The hair, man. They did it again. And not only did they do it again, but Excalibur had to say something about it.
Yep, he said something about it. Absolutely.
Because they were like, "How do you tell them apart?" Which again means that they're going for the gimmick still. And
Okay.
Excalibur is like, because of the hair.
He's like the hair
he's
man.
like, he's like, "Oh, Tony's taking it to Robin," and I can't remember who said it, but they were like, "How the hell do you know it's Robin Renegade? How do you tell them apart?" And Excalibur's like, "Bro, they have different hair."
Yeah, and then it was funny because he said to JR, he's like, when you've been doing this as long as I have, you pick up on some things. And JR was like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know. And here's the other thing, right? So I like the Renegades, and I think the Renegades have a ton of potential. So I also kind of want to mention this in terms of like a critique, because I also had an issue with Charlotte in this match, right? And it may seem as maybe I'm nitpicking, but it's just something that I couldn't help but notice during this match, right? So the match is that Saraya and Toni Storm, who are heels, are just beating down the Renegades. Now, to my knowledge, it's the first time we've seen the Renegades work as the baby faces on TV, including Dark and Elevation.
Yeah.
So maybe that could be why. When Saraya and Toni Storm have Robin isolated, and they're doing the heel thing, the heel thing, where they're like keeping her away from the corner, throwing her out of the ring. The two of them are beating her down. I need to see Charlotte do something. Anything.
Okay.
React to it. She's standing there. And I don't know, like, it wasn't even like a center of the camera frame, but I just kept seeing it. And like, for me, little things are important. Like, she's just kind of standing there.
She was just watching,
and at one point, they do the spot where they're out of the ring specifically, and like Saraya's like pointing, like, she's crazy, keep her away from us. And like the camera cuts over. The camera cuts over, and you would think Charlotte is like walking around the ring to get to them, or like coming through the ring to get there, and that's why Saraya is acting that way, which Saraya should react that way. But Charlotte's like, it cuts to like Charlotte, and she's like on the ropes, just standing there, and I'm like, can you help Robin? You should help her, please help your sister. She's in danger.
I actually thought it was hilarious because Saraya was trying to get her to do something. Like Saraya like pointed at her and she's like, "You're crazy, you're crazy," and she was like, "What?" But yeah, I get what you're saying. But they definitely focused on Robin for like a good 90% of the match. Charlotte got tagged in a hot tag at the end. She got basically one move on Toni Storm and then got annihilated for the pin, right?
Yeah, well, I just think that was the style of match they're working. They didn't want to do a complete squash because, like, this is how you know that they see something in the Renegades. And I think we're going to see the Renegades on Ring of Honor a lot once that starts up at the end of this month. But they it was like a product of where they were and what show they're on and how they feel about the Renegades, because they like the Renegades, but it's the middle match on Rampage, so you know it's not going to go long. So I feel like they tried to shove in this typical babyface versus heel tag team style match where the heels are doing their thing and the babyface just is waiting for that hot tag. Finally get the hot tag, and then you got to go right to the finish, which that's just it sucks, but it's what it is.
Well, I thought this was decent. I thought it was doing what it needed to do. The Toni Storm and Saraya definitely looked like heels in this match. The way that they walked to the ring was extremely heelish, you know what I mean? So after the match, they still attacked the Renegades, and kind of like the old NWO, they grabbed some spray paint cans and they spray paint some L's on the Renegades for loser. I think I did it correctly with the right hand. Saraya did not. She did it with her left hand and made the J. But it's okay. This was fine. This was I thought it was decent. And the Coog, he says that is Thunder Rosa's proteges, the Renegade twins. I don't know if you've been watching for long enough, but I'm a massive Renegade Twins fan. Their mom on Twitter follows us, and she pretty much replies to anything I say about them and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
I enjoyed this. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it, and again, mission accomplished. Saraya and Toni Storm are healed, and they looked great. They looked like they outclassed the Renegades, but they're supposed to. Like, that was the point.
Exactly. Yep.
I thought it was really well done, and I enjoyed it.
All right, next up we had the same Adam Cole video package that we've been getting for a week or so now of his comeback, where he doesn't know who his opponent's going to be yet, but we're pretty sure it's going to be at, Revolution. So, good to see Adam Cole back. It's one of my favorites there. So glad to see him. Can't wait to see when he's actually back in the ring.
Yeah, I think it's smart for them to build anticipation to his return. I think that the way they did this was really smart. Just because his injury was kind of one of those more concerning where he was out of it for long enough where, you don't always have to do a surprise return in a match. I think that their way that they're building up anticipation for him, I think it's the way to go.
Nice. Yep. All right, next up was the main event. We had Roosh versus Christopher Daniels. And man, so before the match, we used to get the whole "it's time for the main event" with Mark Henry, and we still get a version of it where each side gets a video promo package before Mark says that it's time for the main event. And I actually really, really enjoy the way that they do this now. And oh my God, Roosh's promo, the way in English, was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's been practicing or what, but it was very, very easy to understand every word he said, and I thought it was freaking awesome. I was like, yo, Roosh is one of my favorite dudes right now. I absolutely love this guy. What'd you think of his, opening promo there?
I thought the video package was good, which is good to hear or good to see because I didn't think that the last few were very good for this for the Rampage opener. Like the last few, I kind of missed having the kind of two of them going back and forth live. Well,
I can agree. I can agree. The last few.
Yeah, the last few weren't that good, but this one was good. I thought it was pretty good, and yeah, I was cool with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you a question before we get to the actual match.
Sure.
And I have a feeling, I think somebody asked this in chat. I'm pretty sure it was Coach.
Mm-hmm.
How is it that Roosh is better at everything Andrade tries to do? I just said it in chat just now.
Yeah, I mean, he is. Like, it's such an upgrade. And we've talked about it on the show before, because I know I've said it before too. But, like, you can't tell me that Andrade was legitimately better at anything Roosh is doing. Roosh has taken over that gimmick. Like, that's, like, he is the head of the, he's the head of that faction. And, he's got Jose. He's got his guy, Preston Vance. You know what I mean? Like, that's the gimmick. Like, that was the plan. Andrade, they were going to have Andrade beat Vance, and Vance was going to lose his mask, before he did the whole fight with Sammy thing. Like, that was their plan. That was clearly where they were going with it.
Yeah.
And then they had to change it. And in the long run, changing it was the absolute best thing that could have happened because it just turned out so much better. But it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that, like, I don't think I dare anybody to legitimately pick something that Andrade does better than Roosh, knowing that they're in the same gimmick basically. Like, I'm sorry, you can't pick anything. Like, maybe you could have you could maybe argue that Andrade looks a little bit more sophisticated the way he would stand there, but like, that's it. Like, that's the only thing.
The only thing that I could think of is that backflip, land on your feet, do another backflip move that Andrade does, but whatever,
Yeah, I don't
know. So the Coog says Roosh is the best. He is the OG founder of Los Ingobernables in CMLL Mexico. So, okay, that's actually good to know that he's the OG founder, because when Roosh showed up and then Andrade disappeared, I was like, how are they supposed to keep selling Los Ingobernables gear? But that makes sense if he is if he's considered the godfather of it. That makes perfect sense to me now then. So I really enjoyed Preston Vance's outfit here. He was wearing a jacket made out of all the masks that they've been ripping off of people. And I think you and I both had a conversation about this, saying, if his character is being this mask collector, that's great. We're good with it. But they need to make that known. I think they made that very much known with that jacket he was wearing. That was awesome.
Yeah, so they've been kind of building it up. I think he appeared either on Dark or Elevation the last few weeks, and he had like less masks, but because he's been building them up. But yeah, no, they're doing that right. They're doing what we had suggested that they do, and I'm happy to see it. I think it's really good.
Ed Weber says Andrade keeps his back acne free better. Rush's back is gross. Yeah. Yeah. I've definitely said that to myself once or twice, like, man, that dude's back is gross, but you know, it is what it is. Some people can't control that, you know what I'm saying? So this match kicked ass, actually. I'm very surprised that we keep on seeing Christopher Daniels coming in and just putting on good matches, you know. I thought his career was over about a year ago.
Yeah, man, it's been really cool to see him come back, and he's still doing it at a pretty high level, gnarly eye and all.
Yeah.
Man, that eye injury, man, that's crazy that it's still like that.
Is that not a contact?
No, okay, so it's not. So I looked it up a few weeks ago actually because he wrestled on Dark, and I remember looking at his eye, and I was like, man, he is still selling that injury from the Bucks, because that was, if you remember, that's when the Bucks turned on when the Bucks beat SCU and SCU disbanded. They turned heel and they just killed both of them, specifically Daniels, and Daniels was like really badly busted open. So from what I gathered, it's a real injury. It doesn't affect his vision at all. It was the cut caused the hemorrhage in the white of his eye, and the blood stained it. So because he had to get stitches like right above it too. So like just kind of everything led to the eyeball, the white of the eye being dyed red. But he also said in an interview when I looked, because I did research on this like literally a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and he said that it was an older interview. It was from like closer to when it happened. But he had said that apparently it can go away. There's just no guarantee of when it will. So like he could just, I guess, wake up one day and the red is going to start lessening. But no, that is his eye. It doesn't affect his vision at all because it dyed the white. It didn't dye the pupil.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
So he sees totally normal. Like if he didn't know about it, he would have no idea. It doesn't affect him at all.
You know, that's actually a tattoo that you can get now. They can tattoo the white part of your eyeball.
No, I'll fucking pass on that.
Yeah, me too. That'll never even come close to happening. But it's like, wow, he got that for free.
Right. I mean, it looks great, but that's got to be awkward when you're like, I don't know, grocery shopping or like out to dinner with your wife, wild. Or like, I don't know, just like everyday shit. And you're just like, yep, this is me. I just have a red eye.
Oh man, I thought he was wearing some big crazy contact. That's wild.
Oh, I looked it up because I was like, how is he still like hands to this guy? Like he's like still selling this Bucks injury from like 2-3 years ago at this point, 2 years ago. But no, it was a real injury. It's real. It happened.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I thought he was like pretending like he had like a special like all-seeing eye.
Well, he on BTE he had that gimmick where he was like he's like the HR guy, and he would show up and like the Undertaker's gong would go off, and he would just like pop in, pop out, and he's like, I need you to fill out this direct deposit form. Like we were like, you need to get your vacation days into me pronto. While being menacing. And I thought maybe he was just like doing the bit. But no, it's real.
Oh yeah, wow. That's wild.
Yeah, it's real.
All right, so this was a great match. Preston Vance kept on attacking Daniels on the outside every time the ref had his back turned. Daniels almost got a 3 count on a roll-up, the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, but only got the 2.9. He hit a big Death Valley driver, almost got the 3 count as well. Went after the best moonsault ever, but Roosh got the knees up, and, you know, that was the beginning of the end right there. Put him up in the corner and hit him with the bull's horns. Man, he leaned into that. Did you see how normally the guys in the corner, they kind of like use the corner to absorb the blow? He leaned all the way into that drop kick. Like, Christopher Daniels is a worker, man. That was brutal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that just with Roosh's really strong performance and him just, you know, doing the great job that he does, I think he could easily establish himself as a top heel in AEW. I mean, you got MJF, Swerve, and then like Roosh. I mean, like in terms of like straight up heels, that you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he's up there.
Dude, that promo he cut in English and then the one he cut on Wednesday in Spanish. Oh my God, that dude is he's on the top of my list right now.
Right.
All right, so that is it for this episode of AEW Rampage. I thought this was a fantastic episode. We got a great opening match. We got a great women's match. A fantastic main event. Everything we always ask for in a 1 hour of Rampage, right?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I'm very pleased with the hour that we got tonight. You know, it had big names on it. It moved stories along. It had some video packages, some promos. Some of them were really good. Yeah, I mean, like it's really like you can't ask for much more than what you got. I mean, great.
No, exactly. All right. What are we looking at for this Wednesday? How much of the card do we have ironed out for Wednesday?
So we have a decent amount of the card, and it's actually it's going to be a pretty good show. There's some really good matchups here. A lot of champions involved next week. So first off, we have the AEW World Tag Team Championships, the Acclaimed defending their titles against the Guns. The Elite are defending their AEW Trios World Championships against Top Flight and AR Fox.
Ooh.
That's going to be really good. Jamie Hayter is taking on the Bunny in a women's eliminator, women's world championship eliminator match. MJF is taking on Konosuke Takeshita in a world championship eliminator match. Roosh is taking on Bryan Danielson, and it is the Garcia Guevara Gauntlet, where Ricky Starks will be taking on, Cool Hand, Daddy Magic, and then either Garcia or Guevara.
Nice. Man, I think Danielson's going to get booed heavily in El Paso, Texas with facing Roosh. Oh, I think the Latino fans are going to come out in droves, and I think Roosh is going to be he's going to get cheered like MJF in New York.
Maybe. I mean, I could definitely see it happening. He's a heel, though, so you never know.
Oh, I know. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be that whole MJF in New York thing. It's going to be awesome.
Coach Taz says we can't say that word anymore. Oh, shit, he said it.
He's like, I said banger. Fuck. I know, right, Coach? Damn it. Come on, Taz.
Look, you can't do it. Taz
It's like one of my favorite words.
Taz said he hates people that do it, and I don't want Taz to hate me.
I know. Absolutely.
That's an ECW guy, man. I'm making a fucking pilgrimage to the ECW arena in like 2 months. Like I'm not going in there with negative Taz energy. Like no. Hell
no. Can't do that.
Way. No way. Not at all.
All right, man. You got anything else you want to go over here? Maybe another announcement of horrifying accusations over years and years and years of a certain CEO and chair of some sort of board?
I mean, I don't have anything prepared. No, I really don't. No, I mean, we could talk about it a little bit. Yeah, I mean, he got more accusations against him. I mean, like,
is it shocking?
No,
remember when we went over this, we were like, listen, these are the ones that we know about. If we know about one, there's got to be 4 or 5 more we haven't heard about yet. And here they are pouring out of the jar. Like,
yeah, I don't know, man. It's just nothing's going to change. Look, man, Vince is going to sell. He's not going anywhere. He's going to sell the company to somebody that wants him there. And that was the other big thing, right? Like the fact that people really bought that stuff, where it was like, so WWE did their fiscal call for the year. Vince was not on it, which I thought was hilarious. But so Nick Khan said that like Vince has said that when if the buyer does not want him to be there, he will step down. And my thing is like, and people are like, oh, see, Vince will be gone. He's going to step down. It's going to be great. And I'm like,
he's choosing the buyer.
Yeah, he's choosing the buyer. Like, I don't understand why people don't pay attention to these things. It drives me insane.
I swear to God, he's literally trolling people and they don't realize it. And he's like, did they not get that was sarcasm? Like, he says, I'm going to do everything that's in the shareholders' interest. Big smile. He's the 80% shareholder. He owns 80% of the shares. He's saying, I'm doing everything in my best interest, is what he said to you. You know what I mean? Like, it blows my mind that people don't get that he was literally like trolling you to your face.
And you got people in the know saying NBC doesn't want to buy WWE, and it's like, bro, they're selling to the Saudis. Like, I'm telling you, like, they just are. Like, they're going to make it work. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. And like, people would probably say this is crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if WWE doesn't get a TV deal and just goes completely like, they bring back the network. They make the network maybe not free, but I don't know. I could just see them like, if the Saudis can't get a TV deal, that's not going to stop them from doing what they got to do.
No,
you know what I'm saying? That's my point. But yeah, it's like, he's going to sell to the Saudis. He's going to be in charge of the company, and like, I also just want to like take a moment to really just truly laugh, find humor in just how big of a bitch Triple H. This guy, right? So they're
dude,
they're doing the call, right? They're doing this call, and they're talking about all this stuff, and Triple H is like, "Oh, guys, I just want to say that I think I'm so happy that Vince is back," and I just,
bro, after your wife just got pushed out, she just had to resign from her entire position, and you're over here thanking Vince for a reach around? Like, are you serious, dude?
He's like, I'm just so happy that Vince is back, guys. Like, he's the
It's
best.
been great having him back. It's been wonderful.
And we have great conversations. The insight that he brings, like, what the?
Dude.
Oh my god, this is okay. So here's the thing: what we're seeing, folks, what we're seeing here, we're seeing Paul Levesque desperately, and I mean desperately. This man, I don't even want to say man. This guy, this motherfucker, right? He is trying to hold on with both hands. He is on the roller coaster without a belt. There is no restraint. He is holding on to the roller coaster car for dear life, because all it's going to take is Vince to just wake up one morning and be like, "All right, pal, this was a fun experiment." But
here's a question I got for you. You're married, I'm married, right? Let's say you had met your wife at work.
I did.
You wind up having 3 kids together. I think that's what they have now. It's been years of working together. Some shit goes down.
Yeah.
She becomes the first like woman CEO of the company, sitting at the chair. Some more shit goes down. She completely has to quit. Are you staying there? Are you going to sit back and put that giant smile on and be like, yay, thanks, Vince. Have a great time, Vince. Hell no, dude. I'm out. I'm fucking out with my wife the day she fucking handed in her resignation. We got plenty of money, bro. Go fuck yourself. I'm out. See ya.
See, the problem, Jeff, is that your metaphor, your example, isn't a good one, because it doesn't fully encompass everything that happened in WWE.
Well, I get that.
I know you can't, like, but like, all I'm saying is, like, you can't even do it justice.
Yeah, if
it's
millions were on the line, dude, they gotta have millions upon millions. They have stock. They have to be shareholders. Like,
well, so Ed Weber raises a good point, but also the point is that they still got on the CW. Is that the Saudis got LIV Golf on CW?
Yeah.
You just got to get somewhere. Like that's all they need. Saudi Arabia just need, like, again, they're sports washing. They don't need WWE to be successful. They just need it to exist. And they're like, look at this great entertainment that the Saudis own. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It makes you completely forget about dead journalists and blood money and the treatment of women. Like the first thing, like, that is the most genius way. You know, it's like, oh man, look at all these women being abused and harassed over here. This is, oh my God, this is awful. And then like it's like, hey, look over here. We got Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Oh man, oh boy.
And it's funny, I hear a lot of people that are talking about the Saudi fund, and they're like, "Oh, that's not owned by the government." And I'm like, "Where'd you read that?" I'm like, "It's 100% owned by the government." Like, what do you mean? I don't know. I could be wrong on that too. You know what I mean? I didn't. I don't know. I don't know. That's about as much time as I want to spend on them anyway. But
yeah, I also kind of want to just real quickly do another little thought bubble about, you know, their big storyline right now, where it's like, I can't believe that they're gonna make this mistake and not have Sami Zayn win the world title at WrestleMania. Like, it's there. The right story, a good story is there. There's a layup. It's a layup. It's right there for you. No more work is needed. It's just like it's like it's fucking wild.
yeah.
And Sami Zayn is going to be a road bump.
I'll have to counter that with, I do think with what they are doing is going to be just as good with Jey Uso beating Roman for the title instead. They're obviously going with Jey leaving the bloodline, and Jey is going to be the one to do it, and Sammy's going to win the tag titles. Somehow.
I think it's work. I think it's complete. No, I think what they're doing here, what they're going to do, is I think, because I have been keeping tabs via Twitter what's going on. I think Jey is going to cost Sammy the title. Because again, this is WWE, guys. This is WWE.
Oh yeah.
This is the Fed. This is what they do. You're gonna get Sammy in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
I can.
Oh yeah, it's obvious that's happening. Yeah.
I've lived this life before. I've seen this movie before. It's gonna be, they're in Montreal. Sami Zayn is going to be the second coming of Jesus Christ.
It's his hometown.
His hometown. He's already the most over thing in the company, period. In his hometown for the world title against the only other guy that they've made, their top heel. Like, again, This is a layup, folks. This is easy. This is like Nick Jackson just throwing the ball and it's going through the hoop. And they're just not doing it. And Jey is going to, so like right now they're playing it off like, oh, Jey isn't there, and like I guess the Usos tried calling him. They were like, where are you at, Us? And
he wasn't able to get into Canada, yeah.
And he swiped, yeah, that's what it is. But he swiped left, Us, you know, to reject the call. But no, they're gonna do this thing where he's going to cost Sammy in some way, or like it's a swerve. Like the entire bloodline is going to be standing behind Roman Reigns come WrestleMania time, and that's going to make Cody Rhodes' win more impressive.
Well, in Montreal, after they beat down Sammy, we're going to get Kevin Owens coming down for the save, which is going to bring the tag titles into the picture for Sammy and Kevin. That's Kevin's hometown too. So it writes itself. Like if that's not what happens, I don't know what they're doing.
No, I get that, and I understand that that's all the plan. The plan is to have Sammy and Kevin team up. My problem is that is not what you should be doing. If Sammy's your most over guy, like again, man, we've lived this before.
And they even, I don't know if they made him say it or what, but Sammy like came out and agreed. He's like, yeah, I'm not the main event guy. You know, I don't have that main event look. And I'm just like, bro, don't do that to yourself. Like,
it's terrible, man. And again, like Cody is not the guy. Cody is not him. You know what I mean? It's just like,
well, Roman's supposed to wrestle on both nights, so I have a feeling he's gonna lose. Well, I don't want to say he's gonna lose both titles, but he's gonna face somebody on each night. It's gonna be Cody one night and Jey Uso the other night. That's my prediction right now.
But like, why Jey Uso? Like, what makes him so special that like Jay's the one? You know what I mean?
This whole thing started when Jey Uso was main event Jey Uso, and Roman would have beaten him, or I'm sorry, but Jey would have won, but Roman cheated. So like this whole reign that Roman started, Jey should have actually had this reign, if that makes any sense.
I get what you're saying, but they haven't done anything to position Jay for that spot. I mean, he's been one of the lackeys on the bloodline.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not doing anything special compared to the others.
No, I mean, they're fast tracking it right now. Like, Jay is the one that like walked away from the bloodline at the Royal Rumble afterwards. Like, he wouldn't attack Sammy.
No, I'm telling you, here's what they're doing. This is what they're doing. Jay is actually still with them. He's fine. They're going to make up. Sammy's going to get screwed in Montreal. They love their Montreal screw jobs.
Yep.
Kevin's going to come out and make the save after the match. And they're going to expect this to be like, oh, wow, Kevin and Sammy back together. Meanwhile, the crowd's probably going to turn on it. At least I would really hope so, that the crowd would not give up or back down, because from what Twitter was saying tonight, the crowd was very much not backing down off the Sammy stuff. They were doing the what chants to Roman. They were booing Roman, specifically when he talked about Sammy or Cody deserving the shot. When you say Cody Rhodes deserves the shot and Cody's supposed to be your your main babyface going against Roman, and the crowd's booing, guess what? You fucked up again. You did it again. Cody's not that big of a deal, but you've let yourself believe he is. Anyway,
it was Jay.
Anyway,
actually,
the whole point is WrestleMania is going to be Roman versus Cody, and then they're going to have the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And that'll be the thing. And that's Sammy's payoff, which it's not, because he's not getting his payoff against Roman Reigns, the guy who he's feuding with. It's like, hello, hi.
I don't know. It was Jimmy, actually.
The
fat one. Come on, coach.
It's just, I don't know, man. It's right there for them to tell the right story. And instead they're going to have Cody beat Roman. Like take Sami Zayn out of the equation. Cody Rhodes is an awful choice for Roman Reigns to drop the belts to. Like, regardless of how you feel about the company, regardless of how you feel about it, like, they've had Roman Reigns. We got to look at, like, let's look at it from a somewhat positive light, shall we? Let's look at it from a perspective that WWE is doing a good job at booking. And I know that sounds fucking atrocious to say, because it is atrocious to say. But let's say that they've been building Roman Reigns up successfully for years. This reign, how long is his title reign? 4 years, 5 years? Like, what is it? Like,
it's like 800 something days.
Something fucking ridiculously stupid, because he's only defended his title 8 times or whatever in the 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever. But, like, bottom line is, we're getting off topic. They've made this huge run, this huge championship reign. This is going to make somebody an instant main event, huge deal, top guy.
Yeah.
And you're going to go with Cody? Like,
well, that's why he's the highest paid. I think he's the highest paid wrestler of all time right now. He's being paid more than Roman right now.
It's just laughable. Like, they signed him because he's an AEW guy. You know what I mean?
The chosen one.
The chosen one, yeah. You know, the irony is not lost on me that if I was forced to watch Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, if I was forced to, I would cheer for Roman Reigns. The irony is not lost on me there.
Oh, that is weird. In fact, that is weird to think about that.
Oh yeah, I would absolutely. I would rather watch Roman Reigns. I would rather watch Roman Reigns work at this point than I'd rather watch than watch Cody Rhodes work.
I hope I'm right though. I want to see Jey Uso beat his ass, so we'll see.
You're giving him too much credit. I'm telling you, be realistic.
I'm not too sure we will see, but it's WrestleMania. I might have to at least take a peek.
Just like the Royal Rumble, right?
Yeah. Oh no, I wasn't watching the Rumble. I was at what was it, Chili's? I was eating some baby back ribs.
I don't know. I happen to have a detective. A gum.
Yeah, he was trying to say that I was watching it because I posted a snapshot that I had from Twitter.
You had radio silent as soon as the show started, and then like popped in for a second, and then went radio silent again for the rest of the show. And as soon as the show was over, you were like, "Hey guys."
I'll post the photos of our food. We were at Chili's, like 45 minutes away from the house, man.
Look, all I'm saying is, Jeff, you watched it. It's okay. It's okay. Just say you watched it. Like, nobody's gonna. I'm not gonna give you a hard time. I've already had my fun. You know, just say it. All right.
Listen, I don't go as far as you go as to avoid monetizing them at all. Like, I don't go to Reddit to find clips and stuff, but I go to Twitter and I go to YouTube. You'd be surprised how quickly they put stuff up on YouTube and Twitter. It's up like moments afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I screenshotted my YouTube. That's all I did. I think it was either YouTube or Twitter. I forget.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I have a gumshoe.
Yeah, Coach said he watched it. He was like, I was sick, so
The coach said he watched it,
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying, my gumshoe, my detective, my guy, he told me. He said that Jeff watched it. I believe him.
Oh, I know. He was giving me shit, and I was just like, okay, whatever, man. I was like, I'm eating. But, all right, I think that's going to do it for tonight. You want to go ahead and close us out, sir?
Absolutely. Well, this has been episode 115 of the Broken Tables podcast. Thank you to everyone hanging out with us here live tonight as we discussed AEW Rampage and the ongoing bullshit that is WWE. Please leave a like button on your way out. Hit the subscribe button. And while you're at it, check out our channel. We'll go watch out some of our other shows. We have a gaming podcast that happens usually on Monday nights. If you liked our discussion tonight, go back and check out our Wednesday Dynamite review where we talked about Dynamite and everything that went down there. You can follow us in our social medias down at the link below. Until next time, we will see you guys on Monday for the Game Room podcast. I don't have a topic set for that yet. I don't know what I'm doing yet. We'll figure it out, though. I have some ideas, but we'll see.
Yeah, there's a couple things out there. But thank you guys very much for joining us tonight. And, if you guys dislike Sammy Guevara, we have a great video of Eddie Kingston throwing him off the top of the Blood and Guts cage. Definitely recommend you guys go and check that video out. It's approaching 20,000 views, I believe. Would greatly appreciate if you help us hit that 20K. But until next time, Top Guys out.